What's up, everybody? I'm Novo coming at you with another one. Following up on Bitcoin. As we zoom in, we can safely say that our target was hit a little bit ahead of time. How much time? About 16 days. So, not too shabby. Right now, we've got this set up on Henkinashi. And you can see, actually, let me turn this off for a sec. So the Henkinashi candles tell us when price movement is more towards the bearish side, as opposed to just the Japanese candles. Pretty sure Henkinashi is also Japanese, but so a Japanese candle basically says that when it's green, the open was here. In this case, it's the daily. So open at daily was here at 49, and then it closed here. And the lowest it got was the wick, and the highest it got was the wick. So the wicks are highs and lows, and the bodies of the candles are opens and closes. If it's green, it opened lower, then it closed higher, right? And conversely, with a red candle, it opened high and then it closed low. In other words, it closed lower and red. And then the wicks are the lowest that it got for that day. So that's the Japanese candle with regards to Henkinashi. Henkinashi is a little different. The open is the middle of the previous body. You can see here, right? So the open is the middle of the previous body. It's not the middle, or it's not the open, the middle of the previous body. And the close is the bottom of the candle if it's red and directional down. And the green is the close to the upside, and this is the middle of the previous candle. Do you see where we're going here? And the wick is the high that it went. So as you can see, highs, lows, highs, lows. This can throw people off. And what this does is it averages the price movement to the upside, and then a change and a price movement to the downside. A strong downtrend would be no wicks up above, right? Lots of wicks down below. The general direction is like so. Whenever you start seeing a lower wick, we basically wait to see if there is a red candle. And when there is a red candle, odds are we will see a wick to the top and to the bottom, suggesting indecision, not a change in trend, indecision or potential consolidation. It's then confirmed when we have another red candle. The highest chances for a third red candle is if we see two in a row, right? Here we saw two in a row and that was canceled out. Here we saw two in a row and that was canceled out. That was that doji. It went down. Odds are that this was a red one, but it didn't turn out that way. So you just got to watch for stuff like that. Here we kind of have I guess if I compress this a bit, we kind of have a bit of a doji and change in trend. But because we're above the 20, that's the 20. This is the 34, 21, 34, and 50. Because we're on the top side of the moving averages, odds are these are pullbacks and bounces to the upside. Once we start to break down, now we have a lower high, right? And this was actually a lower low, so a bit of range expansion. And then the moving averages started to compress, forming more resistance, pushing price down. We've come back down. Anyway, I keep going off on tangents. So the Pi cycle top indicator, we were calling the top within 3 days of here. What is that? April 14th. I'm not sure if Henkinashi works the same way with regards to that. And April 13th. So off by a day. But we're using Japanese candles based on the way the Pi cycle indicator was originally designed. I'm pretty sure that that's the case. Anyway, the indicator called for a top within 3 days of April 12th, and it was 2 more days till we saw the top, and then we started going into a consolidation period. We were looking at a potential of around this zone, and that the 200 would come and meet us, right? Okay, now we go down towards some technical indicators, and we are noticing that we have lower highs on the green line, which is the money flow index. We have lower lows, which is indicative of money eventually cycling out, and we're looking for a potential double bottom to see if we see a reversal. I'm not sure if this is over. We originally called here. It came, it hit. We're at the 200. I want to say that we'll stay right around there, but I'll show you something in a second. The APO and MACD constantly lower highs, lower highs, lower highs, and now we're below the zero cross. We found resistance at the zero cross. We kind of came above, but we found resistance at the zero cross. If I switch over to bars, the colors will be a lot cleaner, and you can see like low momentum candles rolling over into lower momentum candles, and we've not bottomed out. So we're close to a bottom, and I'm pretty sure that money will start stepping in. I just don't think that we're ready yet, and this may be a couple months of consolidation. So we may find support here, and then come up and bounce, and then find resistance on these MAs as we start to form this compression, and then maybe head to our pivot date, which is when we start seeing movement back up to challenge that all-time high. I don't think that's going to happen anytime soon, because the bottom is always lower than you think it is, right? And with regards to Bitcoin, I think we're pretty close. But going to weekly, if we go to weekly, where's the structure? Structure is way down here around 12,000. I don't think we'll go down that low. I don't think we'll hit the previous all-time high. But you can see that we had some noise here, almost down around 28.4. I don't think, well, there's potential for it, but I don't think BTC can get that low again. What I am looking at is the breakdown of the 21-week average. So if we broke down below that, go bodies again, we need this candle to close above for the week. It's just the beginning of the week now. So this could be the wick moving down to the 34 average, which is right in line with these guys here. So if I move this down just a smidge to about there, you can start to see the support starts to come in, right? I'd even go a little lower. 38. Let's say 39 even. Oh, that's not going to help me, because I got to stretch it out. Close enough. So a slight dip below. I do like that the wick closed above the 21. I'm hoping that we see a long wick and then a very small body, suggesting a potential turn at the end of the week. That would be good. So that would mean a lot of buying pressure down here, and the bears are going to start losing the battle here and potential move to the upside. So on the weekly, we're above the zero cross. We're just touching it. Potential bounce. We've seen it as a major turning point in a lot of momentum and price action here. And if we go auto, we go below, it drabs down, right? We go above, it goes up. And then we go into oversold territory where we see a top and a blow off. This one was divergence with lower highs, yet we had higher highs, so we knew that a trend was coming back, and we were also calling the top pretty close to that. So we're just waiting to see if we see a crazy wick scaring everybody down to capitulation around the 33.6 mark, or if we're going to see just down to the, what is that, 39.40, down around there. Don't think it'll go down that low. I think we've got enough weekly candles to suggest that that's pretty good cover down here. So I'm pretty sure once we start looking at order books, we'll see a higher number of support bids down around there. So not much else to say about BTC. Our target is hit. The top is there. We're going to consolidate. I don't think this is going to be winter for Bitcoin. But the alts, once we see the bounce, the alts are going to go nuts again, right? Because it goes down with BTC. It's just that the dominance of Bitcoin is dropping and more money is going into the altcoins, of which I presently don't really have much faith in, but this could be the bounce to our final run. And looking left, if you look and see how much we pulled back and then went up, I believe the final run is usually a 100%er. So I think it's quite possible we're going to break 100K, if not this year, maybe next year. But based on the previous cycles, it would be November-ish. I got to look on BLX, but anyway. One more thing. Go auto. No, that's not going to work. I'll stretch this right out. And full screen. How much have we gone down since? Now, everybody's creeping out over 35%, right? And the 418, 40% or even higher. Like the 418 would put us somewhere in between here, right about there. So maybe we'll get a wick all the way down to 38. Quite possible. And the 50 week is sitting down here right around 48, which is slowly coming up to the price levels that we're talking about. So if we see a bounce, I think the bounce will be rejected and we come back down for potential double bottom. But anyways, we still see down pressure. So this is not over, but I think we are close and money should start stepping in. We just need to see better indication of a push to the higher highs. I just don't think we're going to break this all-time high anytime soon. We'll likely find rejection and then come back down again. That's what I'm thinking. Unless the RSI breaks the midpoint and starts running up here. Once the RSI is along this zone, I think you'll see a lot of momentum push to the upside, right? So we came down, we tested around the 0.5, and then we ran up, and then that was the momentum up. Then we came down, we bounced on the 0.5, or not the 0.5, the 50%, and we went up. So all the moving averages were pointing to the upside, and any move down was considered a potential bounce. Now we're underneath, right? We're underneath the 50%, and we found resistance. And we're coming back down, and odds are we'll find resistance again, and then maybe start heading into our entries again. So potential for a double bottom or maybe a little lower on the weekly. One of these two, if we didn't find support here. So I think that's going to be our ultimate target, a wick down, just breaking 40 and then heading back up. And we will wait for confirmation later on. But right now, on the weekly, we're above the zero cross. So as far as the weeks are concerned, we are in consolidation mode. We're not in a major bear cycle. And then once we start finding resistance under the 200, I guess we can start talking about run and gun. Let's see. We shall make the thumbnail like so. Now we use Japanese. 16 minutes. There we are. We're zoomed in. We can see the bounces and then potential support over here. Now we need confirmation. We need higher highs. So in order for this thing to continue, we need to break like 60K so that we can start our next leg. Not anytime soon. So that is BTC. Trade safe.